First Contact's deception. The Vex collected ships emerged from hyperspace above Earth in 2157, their crystalline vessels refracting sunlight across the planet's atmosphere. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at United Earth Command's underground facility, watching the alien armada through advanced holographic displays that the visitors would never know existed. "Status of Operation Looking Glass?" she asked, maintaining perfect composure despite the gravity of humanity's first contact situation. "All surface installations are showing appropriate levels of technological regression," Admiral Lieutenant Commander Jackson reported. "Our primitive defense systems are deployed and functioning exactly as intended." For the past decade, humanity had prepared for this moment. Their quantum sensors had detected the approaching Vex fleet years ago, giving them time to execute the most elaborate deception in human history. On the surface, Earth appeared to be a civilization barely reaching for the stars, with crude chemical rockets and basic ion drives. Below ground and hidden in dimensional pocket spaces, however, lay humanity's true technological achievements. The Vex ships initiated first contact protocols exactly as predicted. Their transmission arrived in simple binary code, easily decipherable by a developing species. Sarah allowed herself a small smile as she authorized the equally primitive response, complete with carefully crafted imperfections in the signal. "Let's give them the show they're expecting," she said. "Begin Phase 1 of the deception protocols." As the Vex vessels approached, they scanned what appeared to be Earth's pitiful defensive capabilities. A handful of orbital platforms armed with basic railguns, a small fleet of chemical-propelled ships, and ground-based missile systems that would be laughably ineffective against their advanced shields. What they couldn't detect were the quantum-shifted phase arrays hidden throughout the solar system, the dark matter reactors powering Earth's true defensive grid, or the consciousness-linked neural networks that could outthink any known artificial intelligence. Humanity had learned long ago that appearing weak while being strong was the greatest advantage of all. The first Vex delegation landed outside the United Nations headquarters in New York, greeted by a carefully selected committee of human representatives. Dr. James Martinez, Earth's chief negotiator, played his role perfectly, showing appropriate awe at the aliens' technology while maintaining just enough dignity to avoid appearing completely primitive. Behind the scenes, quantum computers analyzed every aspect of Vex technology, behavior, and biology. Each conversation was scrutinized, each diplomatic exchange carefully measured. The Vex believed they were dealing with a species centuries behind their own development. In reality, humanity was already several steps ahead in the grand game of galactic politics. The Silent Revolution. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, in a facility that didn't officially exist, Dr. Elena Petrova supervised the final testing of humanity's latest breakthrough. The quantum entanglement drive she had developed would revolutionize space travel, if humanity ever chose to reveal it. Team lead, the Vex observation satellite will pass overhead in 30 minutes, her AI assistant reported. "Initiate camouflage protocols," Elena commanded. "Show them exactly what they expect to see. A simple geothermal research station." For the past year, the Vex had maintained a constant presence on Earth, officially as allies and mentors to a developing species. Their true intention, to eventually absorb Earth into their collective as a client state, was obvious to human intelligence services. What wasn't obvious to the Vex was how humanity had turned their every move into an advantage. Each piece of advanced technology the Vex shared was immediately reverse-engineered and improved upon. When they demonstrated their matter replication technology, humanity nodded appreciatively, while secretly operating their own superior version. When they offered basic shield technology, Earth's scientists acted appropriately impressed, while their quantum shield research continued in hidden facilities throughout the solar system. The Vex believed they were watching a species slowly climb the technological ladder. Instead, they were providing humanity with a perfect cover for developments they had achieved decades ago. Every primitive human facility had its shadow counterpart, every visible technology its hidden superior version. Commander David Chen, head of Earth's covert military development, stood in the Antarctic facility's control room, watching the latest test results. "How much longer can we maintain this charade?" he asked Elena. "As long as we need to," she replied, her eyes fixed on the quantum state readings. "The Vex's arrogance is our greatest asset. They're so convinced of their superiority that they don't look too closely at our mistakes and failed experiments." The facility's quantum sensors detected the Vex satellite passing overhead. On the surface, they would see exactly what they expected: human scientists struggling with basic particle physics experiments. Below, humanity's true capabilities continued to grow. Operation Phantom. Admiral Lisa Wong watched from her cloaked command ship as the Vex fleet approached Mars. The Red Planet had become humanity's first official colony, complete with struggling environmental systems and basic infrastructure, all carefully designed to appear appropriately primitive. "They took the bait," her tactical officer reported. "The Vex fleet is moving to protect us from the approaching Kraneth warships." The Kraneth were the Vex's ancient enemies, and their sudden appearance in the solar system was no accident. Humanity had spent months laying a trail of false intelligence that had led both species exactly where Earth wanted them. "Initiate Phase 3, Lisa ordered. "Show them our evacuation." On Mars' surface, human colonists rushed to their emergency shelters and ships, playing out a carefully choreographed display of panic and disorganization. The Vex fleet moved to engage the Kraneth, confident in their ability to protect their primitive allies. Neither side realized they were performing exactly as humanity's strategic AI had predicted. The apparent chaos of Earth's response masked a precisely calculated plan that had been in motion for months. "Quantum fields at full capacity," the tactical officer reported. "All shadow facilities are secured and phase shifted. As far as either side can detect, we're running away with our tails between our legs." The battle between the Vex and Kraneth unfolded exactly as planned. Both sides depleted their forces fighting each other, while Earth appeared to barely escape with its primitive technology intact. In reality, human quantum ships watched from dimensional pocket space, gathering crucial combat data on both species' capabilities. The turning point. The Vex Supreme Council received the emergency transmission from their Earth observation post with growing alarm. The Kraneth had launched a major offensive against the primitive human world, breaking through the reduced Vex defensive line. What they didn't know was that every aspect of the transmission had been crafted by Earth's quantum AI systems. The apparent destruction of human cities was an elaborate holographic deception. The panicked transmissions from Earth's leadership were performed by consciousness-linked avatars. Fleet Commander Sarah Chen watched from the bridge of the ECS deception as the Vex relief fleet arrived in Earth orbit. "All units in position," her tactical officer reported. "Shadow fleet ready to emerge on your command." The Vex ships moved to engage what they thought was a Kraneth invasion fleet. Instead, they found themselves caught in a quantum trap centuries beyond their understanding. As they opened fire, their energy weapons passed harmlessly through holographic projections. "Disengage phase shifting," Sarah ordered. "Show them what humanity can really do." Across the solar system, humanity's true fleet emerged from dimensional pocket space. Quantum drives flared as ships appeared seemingly from nowhere. Advanced AI systems seized control of the Vex fleet's quantum networks. Consciousness-linked pilots engaged with neural interfaces that made their reactions nearly instantaneous. The Vex never had a chance to realize how completely they had been deceived. Victory through ingenuity. The Vex Supreme Commander stood before the United Earth Council, his crystalline form dimmed with the shame of defeat. Around the chamber, quantum displays showed the true extent of human technological advancement. Achievements that had been hidden for years behind a carefully maintained facade of primitive development. "You deceived us," the commander stated, his translated voice carrying a mix of anger and reluctant admiration. "We deceived everyone," Admiral Chen replied calmly. "The Kraneth, your other rivals, even some of our own people. We learned long ago that appearing weak while being strong was the surest path to survival. The quantum entanglement drives that could cross galaxies in moments, the consciousness-linked neural networks that could outthink any AI, the dimensional pocket space technology that had hidden humanity's true capabilities, all were revealed now that the need for deception had passed. Humanity's greatest strength, Chen continued, isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our ability to adapt, to deceive when necessary, and to turn our opponents' assumptions against them. The peace treaty that followed would reshape galactic politics. Earth emerged not as the primitive world the Vex had hoped to absorb, but as a major power that had orchestrated the greatest strategic deception in known space. In the decades that followed, other species would learn the same lesson the Vex had discovered. Underestimating humanity was the last mistake anyone should make.